Tamil Nadu's agrarian economy operates on a massive demographic scale, sustained by the daily labor of tens of millions of people. The Chief Minister's Ulavar Patukappu Thittam, or CMUPT, is the statutory architecture designed to manage the economic security of this workforce. The legislative lineage of this system dates back to a 1998 welfare board. It was formally codified into law under Act 29 of 2006, and later restructured and rebranded in 2011 to take its current form. This aggregate counter breaks down the enrollment figures as of March 2026. The database holds 1.47 crore primary earning members, alongside 1.36 crore of their covered dependents, totaling 2.83 crore individuals. The core objective defined by the legislation is to set specific educational, social, and economic baselines for these agrarian workers and their families. Distributing capital to nearly 30 million people requires a defined system of risk categorization to determine who receives aid and when. This structure forms one of the largest sector-specific social safety nets currently in operation, managed at a population-level scale. To understand how the state deploys its capital, we look at the intake logic. How does a worker legally qualify to enter this database? This tree defines an agricultural worker, including allied sectors like fishing, dairy, poultry, and forestry. For those aged 18 to 65, eligibility requires owning under 2.5 acres of wetland, under 5 acres of dry land, or being landless. The framework ensures that cultivating tenants who lease land are factored into this equation alongside marginal owners. Once a primary member is approved, the system triggers a dependency multiplier. This mandatory registration of non-earning family members effectively doubles the overall footprint at the scheme. The eligibility matrix functions as a specific sieve, capturing the most vulnerable rural demographics while filtering out larger landowners who possess baseline capital. After a worker passes the eligibility net, the state categorizes their risks to distribute capital accordingly. This matrix divides benefits into developmental, occupational hazard, and catastrophic health zones. Payouts adjust for asset vulnerability. Natural death yields 20,000 rupees for landowners versus 30,000 for the landless. Accidental death widens this gap, 1 lakh for landowners but 2 lakh for the landless. The system also includes safety loops within its special features designed to prevent a total family collapse. Educational and marriage stipends are guaranteed to continue for surviving dependents, even after the death of the primary member. The benefit architecture is built on equity. The state structurally deploys heavier capital to those starting with the fewest baseline assets. Beyond developmental stipends, the policy functions as a proxy health insurance system for specific, high-cost illnesses. The matrix includes a 1,000 rupee monthly allowance to mitigate 15 specific debilitating conditions, including severe tuberculosis, advanced stages of cancer, HIV and AIDS, and end-stage renal disease. There is also a standalone relief payout of 50,000 rupees, deployed specifically for cases of paralysis. This Sankey diagram illustrates actual capital deployment from May to July 2026. Within this window, 41.89 crore rupees reached nearly 52,000 beneficiaries. The breakdown reveals 2 primary fiscal drivers: temporary disability at 16.69 crore, and death and funeral expenses for the landless at 15.48 crore. This volume of emergency spending exceeds the capital flow directed toward developmental milestones, like education or marriage. This spending pattern reflects the immediate pressures faced by the agrarian population, where illness and sudden mortality are the primary threats to economic survival. While nominally categorized as a developmental scheme, the data proves CMUPT functions as an emergency fiscal bulwark against immediate disaster and catastrophic illness. Managing a database this vast creates significant administrative friction. Historically, the system relied on a decentralized methodology where village administrative officers maintained physical registers manually. Maintaining a tiered database for 2.8 crore people on physical paper increases the risk of data loss and administrative delays. To address this, the Commissionerate of Revenue Administration began an overhaul of the system's architecture. This diagram outlines the modernization protocol to migrate the paper-based system into a centralized digital environment. The state partnered with the Tamil Nadu E-Governance Agency, or TNEGA, to build this centralized infrastructure. This digitized data now integrates with a central web portal for streamlined management. The strategy includes the deployment of a dedicated mobile application for the 2026 to 2027 fiscal year. This application allows for direct digital application tracking, bypassing the need for manual record keeping at the village level. Since 2011, over 3.78 million beneficiaries have received nearly 2,947 crore rupees in aid through this program. Transitioning from manual records to a centralized model ensures that the state can monitor beneficiary data and deploy capital with higher precision. This overhaul replaces paper-bound local ledgers with a centralized database, allowing the state to track applications and deploy capital in real time.